Okay, hello, welcome. This is not a life goals. That will be recorded next week. So will. Because I have a doctor's appointment on Monday that I want to get through first and then record. So I do. But I do want to talk about the book club that I was doing. With my yearly challenge and all. I haven't actually gone through it, and we are halfway through the year now. So yeah, also I do want to just say, please ignore how my skin looks right now. I'm currently in the process of getting rid of this here, and I don't know what has happened, but you can see, especially this eye, my eyes are in absolute bits at the moment. So there. Oh god, sorry. So ignore my skin, especially this eye. It looks really bad, I know, but it's actually a lot better than it was last week. Because last week my actual eye was red. So it's getting there, slowly. I had to change all my skincare because I think I was actually allergic to what I was using. So it's going to take some time to calm down and get used to the new stuff that I'm using. So that's just one little tiny thing that I will say. But the book club, I haven't given you any update on anything, and even on the Instagram page, I went on the other day, and anyone who is on the Life Goals page would have seen I did this massive story post of all the different book club posts because I hadn't added them into the highlights on my page that I had made. I completely forgot to add them into that as I was uploading, and I realised I didn't do 2 book reviews, or 1 book review which was Jinxed. I hadn't actually uploaded a book review on that on my Instagram page. So I do need to do that on Instagram. And then the other day, so 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago or yes? No, yesterday. So yesterday I did finally finished off Unleashed, which is part 2 of Jinxed. So I did get that finished finally. So that took me from, I want to say February till now nearly to get that done. Because I know in January I finished off Royal Tour, or whatever it was. I think, was it Royal Tour? I think it was. And I started Jinx, and then I finished Jinx I think in February, and then I started Unleashed, and that took me months because my headspace was everywhere. But I finally got it finished, so I am 3 of 12 books, so I'm 25% of the way according to Goodreads. I am 25% of the way through, so I've got 3 of 12 books read so far, which is amazing. Well, not amazing. It is what it is what we do say. It is what it is. But Unleashed, yeah, Unleashed, that's what it was called. Was it going viral? Or was it Royal Tour? Maybe it was going viral. I finished by Amy Alward. I'm kind of obsessed with her books at the moment. Her name is either Amy Alward or Amy McCulloch even. Amy McCulloch or Amy Alward, whichever name she's down as on her book, because she has the 2 different pen names. So I got obsessed with her Potion Diary books. I have my Kindle here. So these are the 3 Potion Diary books that I got absolutely obsessed with. This one took me no time to read. I was hooked. And then this one I finished. So I think I started them in November and I finished in January. So basically nearly 1 book a month I got. And then I moved on to her Jinxed one, which was about a robot cat, or robot assistants, animals. They're called Bakus. So they're it's a replacement for your phone, and they have projectors, and they're a bit like an Alexa kind of thing. You ask them to search something for you or look for a recipe or whatever, and they kind of help you out. They're little helpers, but they're to replace your phone, so you can get text messages and phone calls and all through them, which is amazing. And you get this little leash thing built in behind your ear that you hook your Baku up to, and there's all different levels of Bakus and all, and it's really cool. I liked that little story, but there was obviously other stories in it. This one initially was about her. Jinxed was just mostly introducing who Jinx was and realising that something was going on in the company that invented them. And then Unleashed was about basically bringing that part of the company down. So it was. Obviously I'm not going to give any spoilers. If anyone wants to watch these, or watch them, read them, they are absolutely amazing. Amy McCulloch, the reason I started reading her books was because she's the co-writer of Magpie Society by Zoe Sugg. So Zoe Sugg and Amy McCulloch, jeez, I can never pronounce her name. Amy McCulloch, they both wrote Magpie Society. So Zoe was like the English girl in it, and Amy was the American girl in it. That was their two characters. So I was like, okay, I wanted a new author to read because I'd read all Zoe's. I've read her 2 Magpie Societies and her 3 Girl Online books. Absolutely adore all 5 books. More than likely will go back and read them at some point. Maybe this year, I don't know, but I definitely will go back and read them because they are really, really good books. But I figured because I was so into the Magpie Society book to the point where I didn't want to put it down, when I got into it, I was like, maybe I'll give her books a go. So that's why I tried the Potion Diaries. And then I was like, when I finished that series, I was like, does she have another series? Then I found Jinx and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty good. But when I got to like 80% of the way through, or 60% of the way through Unleashed, I was like, right, I need to prepare myself for the next book, but what do I want to read? So I decided to see what other books she did, because all her books seem they're all very different. So they are, like, Potion Diaries, there's like magic, but you still have like your cell phone and the internet, and there's still like dragons and mythical creatures in it. But then Jinx is, again, modern day, but more built up on technology and everything. So I was like, okay, so she definitely writes very modern day stuff. So anything set in modern day, but she brings other aspects into it, like fantasy and magic, and then like futuristic stuff, but still very modern day. My hair looks very white at the ends. I did not realize how white that looked. Ooh. Anyway, so I was like very interested to see what other kind of ways she went. So I was scrolling through Goodreads and looking at her books that she has written, and I came across one called Breathless, and it's a murder mystery. It's, again, modern day, set in today's world, with today's technology and everything, but it's about mountaineers climbing 8,000 feet into the air, and there's a murder, and then there's another murder, and it's all about trying to figure out who the murderer is. And that kind of brings me right back to Magpie Society side of her. And with the Magpie Society book, I did not know, like, I thought when we got to the end, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I knew that, obvi. Like, I was like, that was obvious. But then they put a twist at the end of Magpie Society, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, very much. So I was like, right, if she can do that in Magpie Society with Zoe, like, what is she going to do on her own, in her own murder mystery? And will she do it, because I know Magpie Society was a little bit more, you know, restrained. Like, it wasn't very much blood, guts, gore, detail with the murder. It was like, oh, you know, her body washed up on shore, I had a magpie on her back, but it wasn't like, oh, the magpie was etched in with a knife or whatever, you know. It was very pulled back. So I'm wondering, does this one now have more detail or less detail? So far it's pretty much the same detailing, because they did say about like a girl falling off the mountain and the main character trying to help her and all, but it didn't give details of what happened to the girl, like what injuries she had. So I'm wondering, like, what way is that going to go? I'm very curious. And I do love a good murder mystery TV show. Like, we watch them all the time. So we do. All the movies that we watch are very much murder mystery. So I'm very curious about that. So I've got 3 books read, and we're in the 6th month. So I am 3 books behind my challenge. I don't know what happened to me. My mental health and physical went very wonky there for a while. That I was up and I was down, and every time I went to read, my Kindle was dead, so I'd put it on charge. But by the time it was charged, I wasn't in the mood for reading anymore, and I found myself mostly scrolling. So like when Graham was, say, doing a stream, or if his mate Jordan was streaming and he was playing Minecraft, I found myself, instead of reading, I was scrolling on TikTok on my phone. So the other night, it was like 3 nights ago, I turned to him and he was streaming Assassin's Creed. And I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be sitting here scrolling on TikTok on my phone, because it's getting ridiculous to me scrolling on TikTok on my phone. It's hurting my eyes. Okay, yeah, I know I should have my glasses on right now, but anyway, it's hurting my eyes, all this. I'm dying to read my book. I keep charging the Kindle to read the book. I've bought the book. I need to finish reading Unleashed so I can read Breathless. So I sat down and I got from 63% up to 88%, I want to say. Yeah, because Graham met up with his mum yesterday, and there was 12% left when I went to read it yesterday morning. So like 88% I had left. So I was on, God, what day is it? Today's Friday. So Wednesday night, I'm off this week, bear in mind, that's why I'm all confused all day. So Wednesday night I went back to reading. I said to myself, and I even posted on my life goals in the story, I was like, from now on, if Graham is doing a stream, I'm reading my book. Or I might do some colouring or whatever if I'm not in the mood for reading. I'm not going to scroll on my phone while he's streaming from now on. Because it's ridiculous. I shouldn't be doing that when he's streaming. I should be reading or colouring or doing something a bit more for my mental health rather than constantly on my phone. So I should. So I decided Wednesday night, this is it, back to my reading. Got through, went from 63% to like 88% or something. And then yesterday morning I finished it. I was still tired, so I did lie back down. And then last night I started and I got up to, what was it, 10% I got to last night? Yep. I got the first 10% of it read then last night. I actually need to mark all these in on my reading journal that I have not been using. So I will mark all these in the past 3 days of reading, and I will write my review in my reading journal book. So I will. And I will do my official review on the books, the 2 books, Jinxed and Unleashed. I will do my official review on them probably later on today, maybe tonight I'll do them. I'll just quickly get them done up and post it up on Instagram and put into the highlights so that you can find the post easier, make it that little bit easier for you. But Jinxed and Unleashed, that series, absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was a struggle to get it finished, but that doesn't reflect on the book. That more reflects on me and the time I have to read. And people from the outside would look at me and be like, oh, you've loads of time, you don't do anything in the mornings, you don't do anything in the evenings, you only work part-time. I get that, but when it comes to mental health, as I have learned a lot recently, mine has gone a little bit down. When it comes to mental health, you may have the mornings and the evenings, but a lot of your effort is solely gone into making sure you get to work and you eat and like have your shower and all that stuff. Like, you look after yourself, basically, is what your energy goes into. So it doesn't go into like reading or colouring or even sometimes cleaning the room, because if you have noticed from the vlogs, been a bit messy. Not too bad obviously, but anyway. So I want to try and start putting time in for that. And the challenge, I still am determined to get 12 books read by the end of the year. I would love to have the time that the likes of, like, one of my favourite people that I love, which I'm like wearing her jumper at the moment, is Gab Smothers. I follow her Goodreads account where she will let you know what she's reading, when she's finished it and all, because that's the brilliant part about it. If you click read, it'll come up on your main feed, such and such has started reading this and such has finished. Like, she could get through books within like 2-3 days, because she has the time to sit down and actually read them and not be distracted with, like, for me, a 2 to 6 job, or you know, having to do different things in the house for people or whatever like that. Like, she lives with a partner, she does her own work hours kind of thing, you know. I'd love to be able to do that. I would definitely get a lot more reading done if I did. I was hoping to get more reading done this week, but because I was sick I didn't. I was hoping to be a lot further through this book than I actually am. But anyway, my book club challenge is still going. I'm still going to try get the 12 books read. I'm already part of the way through book 4 of the year. I don't know what my next couple of books are going to be. I might do research tomorrow on that and buy it next week, because realistically I would love to finish this book by next Thursday, which I should be able to, because I worked it out as, like, what did I work it out? 10% a week? I worked it out that if I read, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like 10% a day. Maybe. I can't remember. Or 5%. 5% every day. And I'd get a book finished in a month. But with the way I have been reading, I'm getting between 10 to 15%, sometimes more, read in one session when reading. So I'm like, I could realistically catch up nearly with my goal by the end of the month if I concentrate. I'm not putting that much pressure on myself, so I'm hoping that by the end of July I would have caught up and be like on par with the month. So be starting book 7 in July, at the end of July, is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to get 2 books read this month, and then 3 books read this month because I finished one. So another 2 books this month, and then 2 books next month. So by the end of July I'm hoping to be starting on my 7th book. So I'm kind of caught up on myself. I do also need to pick a book to read while on the plane and while away on holidays in September. One thing I do want to do is sit by the pool with a drink and reading my book. I have always wanted to do that, so fingers crossed I can get that done while we are away, because that would be so nice. So it would, and be perfect for the book challenge. But yeah, I will get the two book reviews up. As I said, they are both really, really good books. I got through book 1 pretty quick, so I definitely would give that one a 9 out of 10. Book 2 I would give maybe an 8 out of 10, mostly because there was a lot that happened in the beginning and then it kind of lulled and then it went back up. So the lull part in the middle was a bit So I give it about an 8 out of 10 for the book 2, but definitely 9 out of 10 for book 1. It was amazing series. She does amazing books. Highly recommend the author. Again, it's either Amy Alward or Amy McCulloch. Whichever. She goes by both. But if you look up Potion Diaries or Jinxed or Breathless, you will find her. Amazing. And Magpie Society with Zoe Sugg. If you look up any of them, you'll find her. She is an amazing author. Absolutely love her. She's definitely one of my favourite authors at the moment. She is in par with Zoe Sugg at the moment. Them two are my 2 favourite authors. I do like Darren Shan and Jacqueline Wilson. I'm just not into their books anymore. I was when I was younger, but now I'm more into Zoe Sugg and Amy Alward. So yeah, I might go back to the other 2 eventually, but for the moment I'm sticking with these 2 authors. I've tried Agatha Christie and I just can't read any Miss Marple, Agatha Christie books. I've tried even Famous 5 and Famous 7, Fantastic 7. I can't remember the name of that book with the 7 in it. But anyway, I've tried all them. I'm just not into them. I like these 2 authors. These are my 2 favourite at the moment, but I'm hoping to branch out and find other authors soon. I'm hoping to read A Court of Thorns and Roses soon, because that's meant to be very much like Beauty and the Beast kind of style, I heard. So I'm kind of looking forward to reading that. So maybe that could be my next read. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, book club is still going. I know I haven't talked about it much. I haven't done much talking, to be fair, on YouTube. The last vlog I did, which was Belfast, I did explain that my anxiety has been really, really bad, especially up there. It was really bad. So hopefully I'll get back to doing my book club videos a lot more often, and my life goals and all a lot more often for you. But no, I am still going. I am still doing it. I'm 3 books into the 12 book challenge. We are halfway through the year and I'm determined to meet that goal. So I am determined to meet the goal now. Because I love and I missed my reading. So keep an eye on the Sarah's Life Goals Insta page, because I do post on there about the book club. So I will be, especially when I finish a book, I will post up a review, or I'll do like a story and I'll be like, yeah, I'm still reading. So you know I'm still reading, basically reading away and trying to hit that goal. And hopefully in the next video I do for the book club, I'll be a couple more books into it and I'll be nearly halfway with my goal. I need 3 more books to be halfway with the goal, so fingers crossed by the next video I do on the book club I'll be halfway. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for listening. Bye.